Welcome back, guys. Yesterday on the channel I talked about the first Zootopia movie, and in that video I mentioned that today I would talk about the sequel. If you end up liking this video and you hadn't seen the first one, go check it out. But today I'm going to be talking about Zootopia 2. It came out like 6 months ago. And when I first saw it, I actually really loved the movie. I thought it was way better than the first one. I love Zootopia 2 a lot, honestly. I was pretty invested. Even the twist villain got me, honestly. But I'll talk more about that later. Let's just get into the video and talk about it in chronological order, as always. Alright, before we get into the movie itself, I always like to just do a quick, list of the most important characters and who their actor or actress, voice actress, whoever is. So first we've got Judy Hopps, voiced by Jennifer Goodwin. We have Nick Wilde, voiced by Jason Bateman. Gary the Snake, voiced by Ki-Hugh Kwan. I'm so sorry. So Ki-Hugh Kwan. I'm not good at pronouncing some of these names. I think I struggled with Idris Elba last time. And Nibbles Maplestick, voiced by Fortune Feinster. Paubert Linksley, voiced by Andy Samberg. Milton Linksley, voiced by David Strathairn. I'm sorry, guys. Chief Bogo, voiced by Idris Elba. Gazelle, voiced by Shakira, and singing voice. Mayor Winddancer, voiced by Patrick Warburton. Am I just saying that right now? Patrick Warburton is a really funny voice actor. He's hilarious. We all know him from Emperor's New Groove, right? Anyways, let's get into Zootopia 2. So this movie opens up with the familiar setting of the Zootopia police station, the ZPD. And Chief Bogo's doing a roll call and realizes, oh my gosh, Judy and Nick aren't here. Because remember, at the end of the last movie, Nick became a police officer as well. And Judy and Nick are already ahead on a case about illegal stuff being smuggled into Zootopia by cargo ship, and they're there undercover doing a old trick that Nick's good at, which is pretending to be someone else. Like him. And they used the little fox, Fennec Fox buddy from the last time that pretends to be the baby. It was really funny, and ultimately, though, they do get caught, which results in a car chase of the guy who's in charge, the inspector, or the customs inspector that's in charge of the who's behind the smuggling and stuff. And ultimately, they catch the guy, and Judy notices something slithering out of the back of the truck that he was. The bad guy was driving, and she finds weird, reptile skin, but she doesn't get much time because she and Nick are in big trouble. They get yelled at by Chief Bogo in the office, and basically the conversation ends with Chief Bogo basically telling Judy, look, you guys, you solved a big case last week, because apparently this is a week or two after the first movie, and he actually points out something important that you did this big thing, a milestone in history where you're the first bunny cop ever, but if you take the wrong actions and make yourself look bad, then you're ruining the chances for any other bunny out there who might want to be an officer as well. And that actually, to me, that made so much sense. I'm Judy, girl, you gotta think about that. Behave yourself, or you might ruin it for future rabbits looking to go into the police department. But ultimately, Chief Bogo tells Judy and Nick that they have to go to therapy to solve out their differences as ZPD partners, because partners in any police station, they have to get along, right? And he said if they don't do this, then he'll just have no choice but to separate them, and obviously Judy and Nick don't want to be separated. or anything. So yeah, and this is actually the whole, like, we're partners thing kind of leads to some really funny jokes later, because other people will be like, romantic partners? when they mean, like, coworkers. That's just funny to me. And basically they end up going to their first ever therapy session, which is, it's basically group therapy, and there's a bunch of other ones, and, like, these other pairs of officers have way more obvious issues than those two, which I guess is supposed to make them feel like they don't need to sort out any differences or anything with each other, but obviously they do. And this leads us into the next section of the movie. Alright, so remember the reptile skin that Judy found earlier, right? Well, she realizes that something's going on, right? And so she calls up Nick, being like, yo, we gotta go to the Centennial party at the Linksley Mansion. And I just watched the movie, but I think there was a pamphlet for the Centennial with the reptile skin. Yeah, that's it. Guys, if I forget, like, a small detail like that, like, I just need a second to recall. Usually I have very good memory, but sometimes I just forget. And why am I sitting like this? I don't know, I'm tired. It's late. But, so basically, like, she basically gets Nick to come along, mostly against his will. Like, he really is just like, look, let's just do the therapy thing. Why do we gotta go to this, the Centennial thing or whatever? And, well, Nick comes in handy, really, because he manages to get them both near the front to where the Linksley Journal is, because what Judy did was some research about the Centennial and why maybe a snake or some kind of other reptile would come or whatever, and she hears about the story and stuff, and she thinks that a snake is here to steal the Linksley Journal because it was stolen, almost stolen before. More on that later, but ultimately things just go terrible. The snake does show up, and Judy and Nick are chasing it until it comes to their attention that, oh my gosh, snakes aren't the bad guys, and Judy makes the very quick decision to just trust the snake, which ultimately ends up being a good thing, but she makes the very quick decision to just trust the snake. And Chief Bogo ends up in the hospital because the snake's fang ends up stuck in Chief Bogo's head and stuff, and it's like poisonous or whatever, so he ends up in the hospital. So obviously, and so, like, because Judy and Nick were helping the snake, like, it looks like that they just try to kill the police chief. And so they run away. And meanwhile, like, I just need a minute about the Mayor Windancer character. Like, one of the new characters, Mayor Windancer, the horse that's voiced by Patrick Warburton. Oh my god, he was so funny. Like, I need more of that mayor. I need more of that character. I need more like Patrick Warburton roles. I need to see more of that. I need to rewatch Emperor's Crew. Like, honestly, like, this guy's like one of the funniest, like, actors out there. Like, I was just laughing every time. Like, I just had to bring it up, like, cause like, it's like, I love how, like, when Mayor Windancer, like, and I bring it up right now because around this time in the movie, I love how, like, after the whole attack, the Viper attack or whatever, Mayor Windancer's just like, Chief Bogo is dead. And then everyone's just gasping. He's like, our words I hope I never have to say. It's just like, I don't know, I don't know, that character's just so funny. I was like, you know what, I was gonna say I need more, no, we need more. Surely we can agree that actor is funny. We need more of him in animated movies and whatnot, right? But, basically, basically, Judy and Nick are running away. They're basically heading down because the Linksley mansion is in Tundra Town. There's like snow everywhere, so they're basically sledding down this hill right into none other than Mr. Big's car, limo. I think, right? Like Mr. Big's helping him out. Turns out Mr. Big's doing them a favor and getting them fake IDs and whatnot to get out of the city and never return. And and Nick's all for it. He's like, "Yep, let's go," which I would be too. But Judy's like, "No, we are staying here. We are solving the case. We are going to figure out what's going on with the snake and the journal and all that." By the way, the snake did get away with the journal, and it seems that the snake, and I'm not saying the snake's name right now because his name isn't actually revealed to the audience until later. Like I could just call him by his name now, but I don't know. I just want to say the snake until later. I don't know. I mean, wait, that's his last name, though. The Snake with a D. But basically, ultimately, Judy makes a call to another character we were briefly introduced to earlier when Judy was trying to research snakes in the beginning. You know, and there was like this podcaster beaver named Nibbles. And honestly, I have to talk about Nibbles for a second, guys, because I saw her in the trailers and stuff. And I was like, oh god, I'm not gonna like this character. I'm probably gonna hate her. She does not look, she looks like she's too kooky for me. For too quirky, you know? I was wrong. I love Nibbles. Like, I actually really like Nibbles. I shocked myself. I usually don't like those kind of characters. It makes me think like Phoebe from Friends or something. No, guys, I know. For any Friends fans, I know how they're I don't like Phoebe. Well, that's just how I feel, okay? She's a little too kooky, a little too quirky. I don't know, I don't like the overly quirky types. They're like that, you know? So I thought Nibbles was gonna be annoying, but I actually ended up really liking Nibbles. Like, I did not expect her to be that funny. Although I'd have to say Nick had some valid criticisms about her because of how she appears to be, you know? But yeah, I like Nibbles. But anyways... Let's get into the next section of the movie. Alright, so from Mr. Big's factory, because apparently the daughter is in the modeling and fashion and stuff now. Not modeling, but like, you know, if you saw the movie, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, but from there, Nibbles takes Judy and Nick all the way to Marsh Market, which is this dying little area that's about to be bought up by the Linksleys to expand Tundra Town. And I'm just gonna point this out right now. In the Marsh Market section, you'd see fish getting like eaten and stuff, like, you know, like salmon and tuna are getting eaten. I don't know how I feel about that, and I don't know how Disney's gonna handle that when they make a Zootopia 4 about fish, since Zootopia 3 is already gonna be about birds. They make a Zootopia 4 about fish, how they're gonna explain that. What are they gonna say? How are they supposed to say that there's a fish genocide going on in a kid's movie? How are they supposed to say that? But anyways, at the Marsh Market, Nibbles is like, hey, look, my walrus friend here, he's basically a taxi, like, there's a bunch of, like, walruses there that, like, I guess serve as taxis through the swamp or whatever, through the marsh, and she's trying to basically bring them to a lizard named Jesus, who might know a thing or two about the journal. Which, I'm trying to... Yeah, Judy and Nick have the journal. I'm trying to remember what it was that the snake had. Right, we see it. Well, okay, right. They have the journal and the snake. Y'all can tell this is unscripted, can't you? I don't know. I don't like the script videos because to me it's like I just want to talk and say what I'm thinking in the moment and not what I thought like a few days ago or something. So basically, they're bringing the journal, the Linksey journal, to Jesus, so he can hopefully tell them the secrets of it and why the snake would want to steal it. And and when they get there, Jesus tells them that it's not what's in the journal, but the cover that's probably what the snake wants, because vipers have they're basically their eyes can see through, I think, like heat or something. I don't know, some vision thing where they can see through the paint on the cover. I'm assuming that's based off of true facts on vipers. I don't know. I don't know. But after this, the ZPD is here because remember, Judy and Nick are being framed as like attempted murderers now. So the police are chasing the two of them. And luckily, they managed to make it out when the snake shows up and steals. I think he stole something. Shit, I watched this movie last night. Yeah, this is why I need to write things down, guys. This is why I need to write things down. Basically, Judy and Nick run after the snake. And Judy almost drowns in a water pipe that she stupidly jumped in after the snake in. And, like, Nick is the reason why they got out. And this is when they show up, like, stranded somewhere, I guess, until they realize they're in just the correct place. Because right up the cliffs is the lodge that happens to be the hiding place of the snake that they're chasing. And so, this leads us into the next section of the movie. So going up to this honeymoon lodge, Judy finds all that she's been looking for, sort of. Basically, she sees one of those walls, like this detective walls, where there's the pictures and newspaper clippings and stuff, and they have the string connected through it, and she's trying to figure out what it means. Meanwhile, Nick's downstairs and learns that the ZPD's found out where they are, and he's trying to hurry up to get her, and they have an argument because he's like, "Look, we might die because of this. Like, it's actually that high stakes because of the Linkslays." Because I forgot to mention, Milton Linksley actually threatened them before Judy decided to help. Right before Judy decided to help the snake, like Milton Linksley threatened them with death if they didn't help him or whatever. So Nick's like, Judy, this is not worth dying for, and Judy's like, we gotta solve the case, and then it ends with Judy being like, maybe we are too different, and Nick's just like all sad, and she's kind of just sad, and then the ZPD shows up, the honeymoon lodge literally splits in half. Nick gets captured by the police, so basically arrested. I say captured, arrested. But Judy, she found the snake. And Paubert Linksley. Didn't mention him earlier, but I mentioned him now, and I will tell you. Judy met Paubert earlier in the movie, and he's one of the Linksleys, but he's like socially awkward, and he's actually nice and stuff. And I know that seems like makes him kind of obvious, I guess, because he ends up being the twist villain, but I'll explain why I never really suspected him in a little bit when we actually get to that twist. Basically, she ends up with Gary and... because that's the snake's name, Gary, and Paubert, and they end up going to the desert, to Paubert's hangout, because I guess Lynx is like the warm climates of the desert now, even though he lives in Tundra Town. I don't know, maybe it's far away enough from his family that he just feels comfortable because he's like the outcast or whatever. And there, Gary tells the full story and how it was not, I think it was, what was his, it was not Paubert's ancestor. I forget his first name, but I think it started with an E, but like, it wasn't him that created like those those walls that separate those habitat walls in Zootopia. It was in like the temperature walls and stuff, like, and how they work. It was actually grandma Gary's grandmother or great grandmother that that did it, and that created it and stuff. It's actually her journal, and and he decided, Paubert's ancestor decided he wanted to take the credit for himself, so he made it look like the grandma or great grandma murdered the turtle maid, and so snakes got chased out of the city, and well, that's the story, I guess. And now Gary's back to set things right. And now that now that Gary has the journal, he's actually able to look at the cover and stuff and find out where the old reptile community used to be in Tundra Town. Because what Gary's really looking for is a patent, which not the one that Paubert's ancestor faked, but the real one that was signed by his grandma or great grandma. I don't know why I don't remember if it was the grandma or the great grandma. I don't know why I don't remember the exact name of Paubert's ancestor. I know it sounds like I didn't watch the movie. Believe me, guys, I did. It's just names are failing me at the moment. No, seriously, guys, I actually love this movie. I swear. But basically they decide they have to go there. And meanwhile, Nick is in jail. Turns out Nibbles is in jail too. So what do? They make a prison break after a little heart-to-heart where Nick talks about how he and Judy are going through it right now and stuff, and how he doesn't want to lose her because foxes are solitary and stuff, and so he hasn't had many people in his life, and it's a bunch of sad stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was actually pretty invested in him and Judy relationship throughout this. I was really invested, and so I'm gonna take this moment to say that before I was kind of like about a Judy and Nick romantic pairing, as many people are. But then I sat down and realized that a donkey and a dragon were able to have babies in the Shrek universe, so why can't Judy and Nick be in a relationship? So, so before I was like, I don't think so. But now I'm just like, okay, well, sure. And it's only because of Donkey and the Dragon from Shrek. From Shrek. Okay, like, look, they can hit it with the litter. They had like a whole litter of, I don't know, would it even be litter? I don't know, litter? There's a lot of, Donkey and Dragon had a lot of kids together, and without the donkey and a giant dragon, I don't even know how that worked, but anyways, getting back on track. Prison Break. Oh yeah, also Bellwether from the last movie has a couple scenes in this movie. I'm telling you, she was way more enjoyable in this movie than she'll ever be in the last one, because we actually got to see the real her and stuff. And that is apparently Silence of the Lambs, nods to that movie. References, should I say. And so, he's now trying to find Judy, Nick is. And this leads us into the next section of the movie. Alright, part 5, final part. The police are still in pursuit of Judy and them, of course, because apparently Paubert has a tracker on his phone. And of course, the Lynx police think that Paubert is betraying them right now, which we'll see is not the case very soon. We'll see that's the case very soon, but basically, everybody gets in there. Actually, by everybody gets in there, Judy, Paubert, and Gary get in first, and Nick and Nibbles aren't far behind. Like, they're hurrying there. Like, they're trying to get in there and stuff, but they're not quite there yet. Like, and this is when, they find, basically they find the power switch that turns on the a light, a very bright light that's very high up. I think it was like, what do they call them? Lighthouses! Oh my gosh. My brain's not working right now. I'm sorry. I don't know. Actually, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know why my brain's not working right now. But, lighthouse. The lighthouse. Right, that's what it is. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of embarrassed. My brain not working right now. Basically, they find the light, they turn it on, and this is when Paul Bert reveals that he is the villain. And he uses this little weapon that was in the flashback that explained how, Gary's grandma got framed for a murder. on Judy, he stabs her. She basically put, viper venom in her. Or some sort of poison in her. And so while he leaves to go take care of Nick and Nibbles, Gary is freezing to death outside in the cold because we're inside the weather wall in between the desert and Tundra Town. And thankfully Gary does end up saving Judy, but not before Nibbles gets stabbed as well. And Paul Bert's upstairs cornering Nick on the edge of an icy cliff where he could easily fall to his death. It's like, dude, either you make him fall off the cliff or not, And, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, this whole sequence is, making my heart pound. No, guys, I'm telling you, Paul Bert really caught me off guard. When he just randomly stabs Judy with the little weapon, I literally jumped the first time I ever watched this movie. I literally jumped. I did not expect it. And I know, now I'm I should have, because he was just so quirky and nice, and his evil family, and oh, look at him, he's so socially awkward. But literally, I thought Disney was doing their freaking adorkable princess thing, but with this random male links. That's what I thought. I thought it was gonna be quirky bad character writing, bad-ish character writing or something. But no, it was just me off the trails. I was actually kind of wow. So that explains. I thought it was gonna be. Later, I saw him. I was like, another what? So we had Mirabelle, we had Asha, and now we're doing this to random male links now. Okay, from Zootopia. Okay. Oh my gosh. That's why I didn't see it coming, because my head was thinking somewhere else. I wasn't thinking there'd be a twist villain this time, especially after their fail with Bellwether. And besides, wasn't it already a twist that, Death Snake's not the evil one? Or wait, do we know that he's good because the trailer made him out to be good? I don't know. I thought honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised they made him nice just for the trailers or something, just so maybe he has a redemption halfway through or something. I don't know. I'm talking Gary here, obviously, but basically, Judy she saves Nick and everything, because Gary has, his anti-venom thing back, which basically saved Judy and Nibbles and stuff, and later saves Chief Bugwell as well, I'm pretty sure. But, we thought Paul Bert fell off the icy cliff and died? ? But nope, he's alive, and he's hurrying to the lighthouse so he can go find Grandma's patent and burn it. And this is when we get to a scene that, okay, guys, oh my god, you would have hated it if you were watching it for the first time with me. I was hysterically, laughing and screaming when that nod to The Shining King, the reference to The Shining, where he's just through this random maze, this random ass maze. I was just oh my god, it's The Shining, it's The Shining. I didn't think they do that. I sounded like a crazy person. I'm so happy I was watching that. When I first watched the movie, I was by myself because I was, oh my god, I'm telling you, I love this entire movie, really. It's not like perfect. The only movies I'll ever give 10 out of 10 on my channel, by the way, will be my absolute favorites, the ones I absolutely adore. And it just says a quick example of movies I absolutely adore. Titanic, Heathers. You know, I two very different movies, but they're both good. Um, I don't think I could talk about Heathers on this channel ever, though. It's just that dark and just that not YouTube friendly, I guess. I don't know. I have to be very careful wording if I ever talk about Heathers on here, like make a review for that. But let's get back to Zootopia 2. So basically, he's hurrying there. The others are, the other four are coming too. And Paul Bert actually gets confronted by his family just for it to be cleared out that he's actually being good and stuff. Look, I'm helping us for us. I'm gonna go bury Grandma's pet, and not our grandma, like Gary's grandma. I don't know who Paul Bert's grandma is. Why do I want to say Ebenezer? Why do I want to say that the Linksley ancestor was Ebenezer? Ebenezer Linksley. Oh my god. Yeah, I think it was Ebenezer Linksley. I'm done. If you'll tell me if it was Ebenezer or if I'm just being dumb by thinking that I'm right now. Basically, they stop him in time. They find the patent. Grandma's house was very well preserved, might I just say, and all the Linkleys end up going to jail. Snakes are welcomed back in, so are just reptiles in general. Everybody's getting along again, and also Judy and Nick are getting along again if they've admitted feelings to each other and stuff. It's like the movie wants them to be a romantic pairing, but they don't want them to be a romantic pairing. I'm just like, Disney, either they're gonna be a couple or they're not. Maybe they're saving it for Zootopia 3. I don't know. But basically, that's the movie. Let's get into my final thoughts. Alright, so Zootopia 2, I liked it. Also, like with the first one, there is like a song, but Zootopia movies aren't like a musical, so I'm not like putting in like a section dedicated to songs like I've done with other movies like Lady and the Tramp. But there was a new song called Zoo. It's catchy. You know what? It holds pretty well with Try Everything. I like both of them. I like both of them. And like I said in the beginning, near the beginning of this video, like I actually like Zootopia 2 way more than like the first one. Like I think the messages hold up better. Better villains too, might I say. Better twist of villain too. I mean, it got me. But well, I keep saying like I don't know. But I like the messaging. Like the messaging held up better in this one than the first one. The first one was all that racism and that and stereotypes. But it's like the fox and everything else is stereotypical anyway. And also, like, of course, prey are going to be scared of predators. I don't care how evolved they are. The prey are always valid for thinking that the lion's gonna eat them or something. But this movie's more about like power and status and stuff. Like how the Linksleys are on top because power and like money and that kind of thing. Like I feel like that held up way more like believable and stuff. So yeah, I give this movie 9 out of 10. And I hope you like this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment below anything you would like. You can always recommend a movie for me to talk about or check out, And make sure to check out my social links in my channel bio and in the description below. They go to my Instagram and my Discord. Speaking of Discord, my goal right now on the channel is to reach 50 subscribers. Right as I record this, I'm at 36. Like, wow. Well, I've actually had quite the climb the last couple of days, I'm not gonna lie. And like last couple of days of recording, it's like as I record this, it's the 20th, but when this comes out, it'll be a few days later. But basically, yeah, make sure to check that out, because when I reach 50 subscribers, I'm gonna open up a Discord server, and I think that'll be fun. But anyways, I will see you guys in another video. Goodbye now.